Hi, my name is Hari and welcome to my channel. I have spent a good amount of time in the corporate world before I embarked on my entrepreneurial journey. Over the last few years, when I have been working on my idea and bringing it to market, one model which predominantly I use is the business model canvas. Over the years, I've also been noticing that organizations are now becoming more and more open to inculcate the culture of innovations in their organization. It's a very simple thing to do, but there is a lot of work which goes around in the behind. Before we go and talk about what goes behind the scenes of building an innovation model within an organization, as an individual, I wanted to bring few things to the table and a model which I have developed in correlation to a business model canvas and jobs to be done canvas. I'm sure you must have heard both of these terms, and also you must have read about these quite a bit in the web and when you talk to your friends. The whole aspect of business model canvas is to focus on an idea, give you all the parameters or help you understand all the parameters which are required to bring the idea to market. The business model canvas focuses on the value proposition, what you're required to do, who are your partners, how are you channelizing them, how are you selling the idea, all the aspects which come into it, including the revenue and the cost structure for your product. However, what jobs to be done focuses on is from an individual standpoint in a high performance team. What is the exact job you're doing? How is it making an impact? And when you do the job, what are all the different parameters you need to look at while getting this job done, which fits into the bigger frame of mind? I try to simplify the whole both models as simple as possible. Now, when you look at it from an organization standpoint, we always have that fear and the thought of how do we communicate a better way of getting things done. Predominantly, we don't spend time because we feel anything we do doesn't go in the right direction. But otherwise, there are few individuals who really make that difference, and that's what makes them more successful in their professional lives. All of us can be successful, and jobs to be done is one of the fantastic models which you can inculcate if you're looking at that perspective. But let's say you're working for an organization and you have an idea and you want to take it to the organization saying that, you know what, I've been working on this problem for quite some time now. I think I have better ways of getting this done. So when you take it that way, probably you might just communicate what's in your mind, and it doesn't really get to everybody who's involved, who can make the decision to give you that opportunity to bring about that change. I call these people who are innovative within an organization entrepreneurs, and this is a common term. But however, in Microsoft Word or any other word processing document you use, when you type the word entrepreneur, it still gives you a correction saying, is it an entrepreneur, or ignore the spelling. But dictionary has the word entrepreneur, and it's basically people who are self-driven and self-motivated to get certain things done. Now, combining business model canvas and jobs to be done canvas, I came up with something called business model canvas for entrepreneurs. Let us look at what that model is and then start understanding each and every of the term and what changes I made to the business model canvas, and see if we can apply that in the real life. What you're seeing on the screen is a business model canvas template. Now, for entrepreneurs, this becomes very important because you start with value proposition and then go on to the different branches. The business model canvas talks about your value proposition at the mid. who are your key partners, key activities, key resources, your relationships with your clients, what are the distribution channels, what are your customer segments, and last but not the least, your cost structure and the revenue stream. This is the business model canvas. Going in detail is a different video, but what I'm trying to bring about here is showing you what the business model canvas is and how anybody can use it. Now, let's switch gears and go and see the jobs to be done canvas. What you see on the screen is the canvas for getting your jobs done. It's a very, very high performance template for high performance individuals and teams, and it simplifies a lot of aspects which we incur on a daily basis. Now, if you look at the template, first you are defining. In definition, you are trying to understand what's the plan, how do we do it, and what's the whole aspects which go into it. Then we locate. Basically, we're trying to understand what are the key inputs, what we require, and how are we going to focus on them. Preparing to solve the problem, confirming if the solution really works well and fits into the bigger scheme of things of the organization. Execute, end of the day. Monitor the project going into the bigger picture and how clients are benefiting out of it. Modify if any requirements are there, and finally conclude the job. Right. This is a typical jobs to be done canvas. Now, combining both these things, I have brought about few changes in the whole business model canvas, and what you see in front of you is the business model canvas for entrepreneurs. I will walk you through the changes what I have made in the whole canvas so that we can identify what fits into our spectrum. Now, if you are an entrepreneur, please go back and stick to the business model canvas. If you are a part of a high performance team or you lead a high performance team, you should focus on the jobs to be done canvas. Now, if you are an entrepreneur within an organization and trying to bring about a value to the organization and its offering, this canvas is for you. Now, let's see what changes I have made. If you notice, I have removed key partners in the business model canvas and put the plan. Now, what goes into the plan is what is the problem you're trying to solve for the bigger picture. Now, the organization has a solution for a problem. Now, you are a part of a team which focuses on one part of the problem and designing and developing better ways of doing it. You need to identify what your plan is for solving that particular problem. The next block which I have changed is the key activities. I've removed the key activities and put there prepare. Now, what should I prepare with? Now, when I'm trying to solve a problem, I need to have a bird's eye view or a 10,000 feet view of all the scheme of things what the product does solving the particular problem. Now, how is my module supporting that particular aspect and enhancing the outcome to the end user or the client? Now, that's what I call prepare. So you need to prepare yourself with all the information required to make this process better. The next block which I have changed is the MVS. The minimum viable solution, what we are talking about here, is the prototyping. As an entrepreneur, or if you're an entrepreneur looking at the business model canvas, you definitely do a minimum viable product or a minimum viable solution to test out if the market really exists for this kind of a solution or not. Whereas for an entrepreneur now, a minimum viable solution is a prototype you develop to demonstrate to your organization that your model works better or works in tandem with the larger product and enhances the outcome of the experience of your client. right? So that's where I replaced it. The value proposition remains the same, because as an entrepreneur or an entrepreneur, you need to understand what's the value you are bringing to solving that problem. The next aspect is customer relationships, which I replaced with just relationships. Now, what are these relationships? Relationships can be for an entrepreneur within the organization, different teams, for the organization with their clients. So how do you manage these relationships when you're bringing about this change or a new process or a new model into your bigger product? The next aspect is monitor. As we discussed earlier, monitoring is basically you're ensuring that the minimum viable solution or the product what you have built goes to your end user, monitor what their output, what their feedback is, and keep closing the loop to make it a better solution. The last block on the right side is personas. Now, what is personas? From a product perspective, when you are delivering it to a client, when your organization is delivering it to a client, there are various kinds of users who are using that product. Now, when you are proposing a solution or an enhancement or a workflow optimization as part of your idea, you also need to understand who are the different personas who are using your organization's product and how would it impact them. This is very, very, very important for an entrepreneur. What this gives the person is the ability to understand the bigger picture. What it gives the organization is the confidence that their employee or their associate also has the domain understanding, and they can inculcate or bring about these changes in the product which can impact on the larger scale. Correct? So personas is very, very important for an entrepreneur. You need to understand the larger spectrum of things and who are all the users who are using your organization's product. The last two components below, which in business model canvas is the cost structure and the revenue, changes a bit for entrepreneur. Now, as an entrepreneur, if you're bringing a new product, new idea, new service into the larger product spectrum of your organization, one is the impact and what's the outcome. The impact can be enhanced client's experience, enhanced revenues. Your functionality can generate more revenue for the organization. And end of the day, when the bottom line increases, your earning per share increases. So if you are capable to demonstrate that part, that's wonderful, especially in large organization, public organization, where they're responsible for shareholders. If you can talk that language, I think you can communicate your idea more effectively and more efficiently. This is my personal experience. I have few personal experiences, but I will reserve them and my illustrations to the following videos, where I talk about each block in a video and walk you through each of the steps to get it done. Now, the outcome and impact are two similar words, but you can demonstrate it the way you want it to demonstrate. In impact, I'm talking about if you're increasing the revenue for the organization or enhancing the earning per share concept, that aspect. And in outcomes, what I'm talking about is, again, increasing revenue is one outcome, is a common outcome, but the second is what is the value you are bringing to your client. So you can interchange. That's the reason I left them like that. But while using illustrations, we can go and understand a lot more things much more deeper. Now that you have seen the business model canvas and get jobs to be done canvas, and the culmination of both coming together, which I call it the business model canvas for entrepreneurs, I would like to hear what your thoughts are and what your feedbacks are. If you want me to incorporate any other things from your experiences, if I've missed anything, please do share in the comments and we can get it rolling. A small request, if you could subscribe to the channel and support me. I think I can do a lot more videos, and we can all come together and add value to the respective organizations where we are working on or for. Over the next few weeks, what I would do is I would go into detailed video of each of the components of the business model canvas for entrepreneurs, illustrate it with examples, and help you define your own BMCI going forward. Hope this video has helped a little bit and given you a little bit of thought for a different approach. Thank you. Look forward to having you with me soon. Bye-bye.